All right. So to understand the combination chart, right? So we first need to introduce a new data set. Okay, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to introduce one more column here in this particular column, which will talk about the number of units that you have sold. Okay, so units is the column that I'm going to introduce, and let me use the format painter option and let's format it. Okay, now if you'll see this particular data, this data is nothing but it is the total sales that we have done. Okay, and simple, like from a simple logic we'll understand, if I say that 350, that does not mean 350 rupees, right? This is not what the total sales would be. So we'll say that this is 350 million. Okay, so this is 350 million rupees that has been generated by the organization, and how many units they have sold for it, that I'm going to introduce here. So let me use a rand between function, which is equal to rand between, hit tab to autocomplete, and the bottom value is, let's say, 5, and the top value would be, let's say, 40. Okay, and the moment I hit enter, then in that particular case it is giving me the random value. Let me copy it and then paste it as a value. That's done. Let's use the format painter and let's format it as well. Okay, so what exactly this entire data that I have created here, what exactly does this represent? Okay, so this data represent that in the month of January, okay, the organization did a revenue of 300 million US dollars by selling 29 units. Okay, by selling 29 units. Now if I want to represent this entire information into a graph, or let's say into a chart, then in that particular case what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select this entire data range, hit Control A, then click on insert. The moment you click on insert, then you have the recommendation chart, right? And then when you click on recommended chart, so it shows you the clustered column chart, right? And the moment you hit OK, so the clustered column chart is now visible. Let me move this particular charts little downward, and let's bring this particular chart into action. Okay, so this particular chart. Now let me introduce the data labels as well. Okay, now what does this data label is currently showing you? Okay, so what it is showing, that the revenue, now although like this is what it is representing, that in the month of January 350 was the revenue, right? But this revenue is in millions, right? And same way within the same line itself, it is representing 29. Now this particular column is units sold, but as per the data, as per the indication, it is actually getting marked with the same axis, right? Same y-axis. Now this is a conflicting statement, because this entire section that you get to see, right? This entire section that you have, it only talks about the revenue, and it is the revenue in millions, right? But if you are using the same access to represent the units sold as well, then it is not correct, because this particular data, this particular bar that you have, it is indicating that the number of units that you have sold is 29 million. Okay, and this is not the correct representation. That's not how it should be represented, right? So now you have to focus and understand that we need to introduce a separate axis along with a separate chart to represent the units sold, because right now if you are using the same parameter to mark down the number of units sold as well, this is not correct. Okay, so in that particular case, what we are going to do is that just focus here and try to understand that what I am doing. Okay, so this will give you a better picture or a better idea about it. So I selected this particular chart, and then I selected the units sold, right clicked, and then click on like basically format data series. Now the moment you click on format data series, you'll be able to see that you have another option that says that you can introduce a secondary axis as well. Okay, so this particular option, the moment you select the secondary axis, okay, select it. Now can you see a secondary axis is currently introduced here? right? But again, now it is overlapping, right? This chart is not making sense, because now what happened is that when you introduce the secondary axis to show up the units value, so now it is getting overlapped as well. Okay, so the units value is overlapping with the sales value. So in that particular case, what you are going to do is that you are going to select, right click on it, and then you have an option here which is called as change series chart type. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to change the chart type, and we are going to change the units from clustered column to a line chart. Okay, so the moment I do it, now can you see, now you have two different representation here. One representation you get to see, this particular is representing this particular this bar chart is representing the left side y-axis, which is information in millions, right, or the data in million. And this particular one, which is 38, the orange line that we have, it is representing the right side y-axis, which is the units sold. So this is how you are going to use the combination charts in order to show two different datas. Okay, parallelly, let's do one thing, little bit, let's format it as well. Okay, so when I'm going to format, so if I go to fill option, so can you see you have different options here. Okay, so you can change the line color, you can change the gradient and all those things. So if you want to make a different change, if you want to change the marker as well, so this particular marker that we have, right, so if you want to change the color of the marker, that also you can do. So let's say I want to introduce a black color in the marker. Now the moment okay, I'm so sorry, it's not working. Let me go to fill, go to marker, and under marker, if I click on marker options, so what you can do is that you can just click on fill. Okay, and from here you'll be able to change the marker color as well. Okay, and the moment I come outside, okay, what's happening, let's do it one more time. Okay, apologies. Now if I select this particular marker, go to fill, okay, select on marker, and under marker we have, like, we have the marker options as well. And under marker option, it is showing black. I have selected black itself, and then you can change the how the marker is currently visible, that also you can change. Okay, and then you can change the color as well. So earlier why it was not showing, because we had selected none. Okay, you need to select automatic, then also it will become visible, but you can use built-in option as well. Okay, and under built-in option you have a lot of different options here through which you can introduce, like you can highlight the marker. Now the moment I select this, right, and then I go to solid fill, okay, and the moment I come outside, so can you see now the marker is highlighted here. Okay, so this is how you can highlight the marker as well. Now if you'll see currently the gap between the this particular y-axis, I can use a different color here as well. Let's use a different fill color here, because blue is not making a lot of visibility for me, so let's make it yellow. Okay, yellow is also too bold for me. So let's do one thing. Let's use a little lighter shade. So let's use this particular shade. Okay, so this is little lighter. And currently, if I'll zoom in here, can you see this 27 and then this 334? It's almost overlapping. It's almost overlapping. So let's do one thing. Let's try to reduce the gap between, increase the gap between this particular unit, which is 334 and 227. So what we are going to do is that we are going to select the secondary axis. Okay. If I just go here, select the secondary axis, right click, and under that we have a format axis options. Now the moment I go on format axis option, can you see you have a minimum and maximum bounds value. Now what is this minimum and maximum bounds value? This shows that what is going to be the minimum number from which you can start the chart and what is the maximum number. So the maximum I'm going to keep is 100. Okay, and the minimum that should be, let's say 100 is there, right, and the minimum as per the data is we can keep is 20, right? So this is what it is there. And then what is the unit? So the next is the unit simply means that what should be the unit that you want to keep, like what should be the gap between the two units. So can you see you have like 0, 10, 20. So here it says 20, right? 10 units gap. So I don't want to keep it 10 units gap, I want to keep it 20 units gap. And the moment I come outside, now can you see this is how it changed. So the gap increased between 334, and now this is what it is showing better. Along with that, I have another options as well. Okay, the another option that we get to see under the axis itself is that you can like display it in a different way. Okay, now when I say display it in a different way, what exactly do I mean by that? Right, you might say that, hey, Rashid, if you're saying that you'll be able to display it in a different way, how exactly are you going to display it in a different way? So what we are going to do is that here, if you'll see, I'm going to select this. Okay, and after selecting, we have the fill option, right? And under this particular fill option, you have different colors as well. Like you can introduce a line here. Okay, so under that, if I just go to the fill, and under that you have an option here which says as this particular one, border, and then under that border you can simply introduce a gradient line. Now when you are introducing a gradient line, you can just introduce a solid line as well. Okay, and under the solid line you can just show like what is going to be the color of the line. Let's say I'm going to make it yellow, and the moment I'm so sorry. What happened is that it went ahead outside of that and introduced a line. I want to introduce a line here. Okay, so this particular, so if I select a solid line, okay, and the moment I hit outside, can you see a line got introduced here, this particular line, and it is showing the marker as well. So visually this entire chart is much better as compared to what we had created earlier. Okay, so this is what it is introducing, and you can of course introduce the name or name as well, right? You can simply introduce an access title as well. So what is going to be the access title of the let's say secondary vertical, then primary vertical, what is going to be the title? So that also you can introduce. So let's say for primary vertical, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select this and say that this is sales in millions, right? And this particular one, the second one that we have, we are going to select it, go to chart elements, access titles, and then what we are going to do is that we are going to select secondary vertical, and under this what we are going to do is that we are going to introduce that this axis represents the total units sold. Now can you see how different this entire data is currently appearing? Right? So this is how you create a combination chart. Okay, this is how the combination charts are generally created. And you can use different combinations. You can use, let's say, stack bar chart. You can use column chart together and line chart together. You can use, let's say, area graph and line chart together. So there are different ways you can create combination charts. Okay, and this is one of the example that I wanted to show it to you.